Hello friends, welcome to the first video I am sharing for 2024. Today I bring you a new year reset video where you will see me, like I am doing right now, putting away and cleaning, organizing, and also planning for this new year. I will also be sharing about what my goals are for 2024, what I wish to work on creatively as well as personally, and also do a little bit of reflection. So as you can all see, I am someone who likes to put away their Christmas decorations early on in the year. Though I still like to take my beginning of the new year slow and not jump overhead by doing too much excessively, I do, however, like to pack away all my holiday decorations early on in the new year. I grew up watching my mom put away all holiday decorations very early on in the new year, and she would do a deep cleanse of the house, and she would light candles and burn some herb bundles and set her intentions for what she wished to manifest for our family in the new year. So I grew up watching this my entire life, and it is something I also do as well. It is very rooted in my own personal life and something that I like to do. So I usually pack away all my holiday decor very early on in the year and focus on doing a deep cleanse of my space. It is quite satisfying and a bit sad watching all my holiday decor packed away, but it also gives me a sense of preparation to start the new year fresh with no holiday decor in sight. So now that all the holiday decorations are put away, it is time for me to clean all the residue that has collected on my desk from the holidays, as well from a little family vacation that I just got back from. So you will see me clean and organize this area while I chat about what 2023 was for me and what I wish to focus on in 2024. Oh, also, I have been listening to the audiobook of Cruel Prince, and I am enjoying it so far. This has been on my radar for some time now, and I am so happy that I was able to get to it early this year already. By the way, as I am cleaning and organizing, I like to keep in mind any intentions I wish to become fruitful in the new year. So for example, right now I am cleaning my creative space, the space where I create all my illustrations, where I write and work. So as I am doing this, I am imagining as I clean how I see myself working in the new year in this particular area. I am imagining myself creating wonderful illustrations and writing new stories that will be a part of a book I wish to complete or even publish this year. I find that when we can imagine ourselves where we see ourselves, then we can create that for ourselves. So 2023. For me, 2023 was a year of creating small changes that would eventually create bigger changes that I wished to do in 2024. 2023 was sort of a checklist year, one that felt a bit tedious, but it was also a necessary checklist. It was a year that I got out of my comfort zone, where I started new journeys, where old habits died and new ones rose, where I took the lead and then I stopped. I let myself be helped this year. I also found myself more and more of where I see myself and who I wish to be. So much happened this year that it was a bit overwhelming, to be honest. Things sort of became a quote-unquote to-do list because of all the things that were changing and needed to happen. So this year, in 2024, I wish to create more meaningful moments where I am fully present, because 2023 was a big year for my career, and I am hoping and I am sure that 2024 will be too. Really quickly, friends, I just want to share with you the book I just recently got from this cute bookstore in Washington that my family and I just visited. It is called Alebrijes by Donna Barbara Higuera. I am already 100 pages in, and wow. This is giving me Dune meets Mad Max vibes, but our protagonist is a 13-year-old boy and his 10-year-old sister. This is set in a dystopian world in a town called Pocatel, I believe, where the old world has died and there are monsters lurking. I will say more in another video, but you guys, get on this book. It is so gorgeous. I just can't believe the cover. Also, these were gifted to me by the company called Birthday Candles, so I am just unboxing them here. These are a set of 3 candles that are designed to offer insight into your past, present, and future. I have mentioned before how I am a huge fan of learning the tarot, and it is a deep personal practice of mine. I love how you can use tools such as the tarot and candles to gain insight into our own lives. I'm someone who is very much interested in the esoteric arts and love reading about it. The cool things about these candles is that they contain a special mystery tarot charm from the Major Arcana tarot deck. So as the wax melts, you'll be able to use the special tweezers, which I didn't get to show on this clip here, to extract the charm from the cup. And you can reference the booklet that is included in this set to discover the powerful message. I will leave the link to these sets of candles down below if you are interested to learn more. But this year, I do want to focus on doing more things that are just for me. Not for my career or because I want any gain from it, but simply because it is my humanity that is craving it. Of course, I am still going to be doing things for my career because, of course, we gotta make a living. And also my career is something very vital and a part of me that I am excited and anticipating to continue to pursue and grow in. I will admit that I am someone who often thinks about their career 24/7. I live and breathe my career because I love it so much, and I have a clear vision of where I wish to be in my career, and for the longest time I didn't. So now that I do, I sort of have fixated on my career for the last few years. But this year I wish to free myself from that. I want to find more balance by being present and doing things simply because I want to and no other reason. But also, I want to find sustainable ways to make it happen where my financial goals don't suffer from it. Because my social media work is linked to my paycheck and my livelihood, it can be quite hard sometimes as a quote-unquote content creator to live in the moment. And yeah, I sometimes find it hard to not pull out my phone and document so I can share it online. I did get better at not doing this towards the end of 2023, and I wish to do more of this in 2024. But of course, I want to continue to grow my social media platforms, but I want to do it more balanced, where I give myself time to lay off documenting and simply enjoy, and also have a time frame where I do document, to make a living. 2023 was also the year that I found new dreams. Listen, I am in my 30s, and let me tell you, it is never too late to find a new hobby, to dream up new dreams, to pursue new opportunities. I often would get sad hearing the older folks in my family talk about pursuing forgotten dreams simply because of their age. In my 30s, I feel like I have found myself more than ever. I have dared myself to try more than I ever have. I have done things that I once thought impossible. I find it so utterly important to try, despite what our inner voice may say, despite what others may think. I find it easier to try than to quit and spend my entire life wondering what could have been. I grew up hearing my parents say, "El que quiere puede," which translates, "Those who want can." And to be honest, I would often get upset at this quote because as a first generation woman, it seems as opportunities lack for us. So it seemed that as much as I wanted something, I couldn't get it. And that phrase always seemed like a load of you know what. But I have always found encouragement in creating those opportunities for myself when others chose not to give me an opportunity. And sometimes that is the reality, which is the reason I decided to fully dedicate to YouTube at the end of 2023. I told myself that I could give myself this opportunity to gain financial freedom, create different income streams by doing things that I love and sharing them with the world. Hence, reading books and sharing my lifestyle journey and writing journey. This year, my quote is, "Create the life you want." As we watch hateful crimes happen in our world, as we watch robbed opportunities happen all around us, as we watch sometimes unhappy folks continue to live in the same cycles, I feel like the best thing that we can do for others and for ourselves is to create the life we desire, the life that we want. I've seen one too many times people from my family have to live lives that were chosen for them, and them having to comply. Choosing to actively break those cycles can show those around us that sometimes different can be accessible, because it is. I am constantly choosing something different than what was only accessible to my parents when they were my age. I can create the life that I want by being persistent in what I envision for myself and believe that I am capable of achieving just that. So friend, create the life you want because you can and because you deserve it. This year, I do want to utilize my planner more. I think every year I have been great at buying planners, but don't consistently fill them up the entire year. So this year, I want to be more consistent in that department. I am looking at buying stickers to decorate each month with, or I don't know, maybe I can illustrate my own stickers and print them out and use them in my planner spreads. We will have to see. I find that when I have a planned out schedule to follow, especially as a freelance artist and self-employed person, then I am more bound to be more productive. I also have a lot of big projects happening this year. I am planning a huge relaunch of my Patreon this February, so I need to stay organized in that department, as well as all the content that I wish to create for YouTube this year and all other freelance work I have going on for this year as well. So there is a lot going on in my brain, and I desperately need somewhere I can dump all that information onto. So, goals for 2024 career wise. My first debut self help book is being published this year in May, and I am excited for that. I have a lot of plans for the launch, so I need to plan for that. But I also have been working for the longest time on a poetry collection as well as a novel. I know for a fact I want to publish the poetry collection this year, as all the poems I have on there are pretty much completed. I am thinking of taking the self-publishing route for this, and then I don't know, maybe I can query it around. We will have to see where life takes us. I also want to complete my first actual novel. I want to get it cleaned up and do possible querying for it in 2025. But this year I do want to focus on making it more comprehensive, making it just complete and cleaning it up. I already started the novel, but I still need to work out some parts. So those are 2 books right there. I also want to start jotting down new ideas for a possible children's chapter book that is full of illustrations. I have always wanted to be a children's book illustrator and writer, so this year I am planning on setting roots in that department. One of my biggest goals for 2024 is to continue to grow my YouTube channel. Last year in 2023 was really the year that I fully dedicated to YouTube, and I seen so much potential in that growth and what that can really look like if I fully gave YouTube my full attention. So this year I have some goals that I want to reach for YouTube, and I am hoping I can meet those by the end of the year. So I want to continue to share my writing and my illustrating journey, as well as read more books and sharing my thoughts on them here on YouTube. So as far as how many books I wish to read this year, I do have an overall number, but it's a very loose number. I don't want to stick to it fully. If I reach that goal, then cool. And if I don't, then that's okay too. My number is 40 books. I am aiming for 40 books to read this year. I feel confident in that number, but also I am absolutely okay if I don't meet it. I am not a huge fan of reading goals, to be honest, because then I feel like it's a race for me. I guess I have no self-control in that department, so I don't know. So I like to keep any potential reading goals very with loose strings. So as far as career goals go, those are my goals. Now for personal goals, this year the biggest goal is moving states, as well as my husband and I starting a family. I will not share too many details on this subject because it is a bit personal and I want to keep that part to myself, but I will share this. I've had some fertility issues, and my husband and I decided to pursue a possible IVF journey. So that is something big that we are doing this year. And as far as moving, we have some potential states in mind, and we are excited to visit them this year and start looking around. I also want to focus more on my health this year. Last year, I signed up for the gym, and it's been quite hard to get accustomed to being in the gym. I haven't had the best experiences with gyms, but I am trying my best to get my health together. I also live with a chronic illness, and so it is vital for me to really focus on my health especially this year, and especially because we are considering an IVF journey. So those are some big personal goals for me this year. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, these goals are not all set in stone. I don't have a month-to-month plan as it is still winter, and in my winters, I like to be a hermit and take things slow. I like to do more of my in-depth planning once we are getting closer to spring. The spring season is the season of growth where everything is sprouting and growing, and I like to plan and do all of my in-depth planning seasonally. I like to live seasonally and plan accordingly as well. So for me, in my head, planning goes very well with the spring season. But I do like to have an overall idea of what I wish to do in the year and what areas I wish to focus on. So I like to do that early on in the year, at least have some sort of idea, but nothing super concrete. New Year resets and goal planning are an opportunity to get excited, but it can also be overwhelming as we see others have super in-depth planning and being so strategic for their year. I am not that person, so I like to have an overall idea and then, like I mentioned, go more in depth once the spring season starts. I like to take it one step at a time so I don't get anxious or overwhelmed. So, my friend, take your time. You don't have to have it all figured out. It is okay if you only have an idea of what you want this year to look like and feel like. Trust me, that is more than enough to set you in the right direction. Do not lose sight, and when you have the energy to fully go in-depth planning mode, then do so. It is still winter. It is a season of rest and relaxation, to be in our solitude. So rest, and when the spring season comes, be ready to sprout with it. I am wishing you all an abundant new year. May you all do the things that bring you joy, and remember, create the life that you want. Until then, friends, take care and bye for now.